The Cleveland Browns are standing on the edge of a cliff, and the next decision they make won't just define the 2026 season, it is going to define the entire next decade of this franchise. We finally have the golden ticket intel from Adam Schefter about what the front office needs to do, but in typical Browns fashion, they just made a move that contradicts everything we thought we knew. We are staring at a scenario where we could accidentally blow up the best defense in the NFL just to chase a coaching trend. If you aren't worried, you aren't paying attention. What is going on with the Jim Schwartz ultimatum? Why are we interviewing the Chargers' defensive coordinator if the plan is offense? And who is the secret quarterback whisperer hiding in Denver that nobody is talking about? We are breaking down every single angle of this chaotic coaching search right now. But before we dive into the madness, if you want the Browns to stop messing around and finally hire a winner, smash that like button right now. Let's show the algorithm that the Dog Pound is the most active fan base in the league. Make sure you are subscribed and turn on those notifications. We are covering this search daily. The Schefter bomb and the Jim Schwartz dilemma. Let's start with the biggest news drop we've had all week. Adam Schefter, the man who knows everything before it happens, went on national television and laid out the situation in Berea. And honestly, it's terrifying. Schefter's report is clear: the Cleveland Browns essentially cannot hire a defensive-minded head coach. Why? Because of Jim Schwartz. Schefter believes that if Jimmy Haslam hires a defensive guy to be the head honcho, Jim Schwartz is not going to stick around to take orders. He's earned the right to run his own show. He is widely respected, he has an ego, rightfully so, and he's going to walk out the door. Think about the implications of that. We just watched this defense dominate for 2 straight years. In 2023, they were historic. In 2025, they were even better, ranking 4th in total defense, 3rd in pass defense, and allowing just 22 points per game in a league where the rules are rigged for the offense. Myles Garrett just put up 23 sacks and is the Defensive Player of the Year. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens because Jim Schwartz created a culture of violence and precision. If you hire a defensive head coach, you lose Schwartz. If you lose Schwartz, does Myles Garrett regress? Does Denzel Ward look as good? Do we go back to the days of blowing coverages in the 4th quarter? Schefter is saying the only way to keep the band together is to hire an offensive head coach who will basically say, "Jim, here are the keys to the defense, I won't touch a thing," and focus entirely on fixing our broken offense. It's the perfect plan, on paper. The Jesse Minter curveball. So, if the plan is offense only, can someone please explain to me why the Cleveland Browns just officially requested to interview Jesse Minter? For those who don't know, Jesse Minter is the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. He's a defensive guy through and through. He came up under the Harbaugh tree, worked with John in Baltimore, won a national championship with Jim at Michigan, and now he's turning the Chargers' defense into a wall. He is a phenomenal coach. I have zero doubt he's going to be a great head coach someday. But how does he fit here? If you hire Minter, you are doing exactly what Schefter warned against. You are bringing in a defensive boss over Jim Schwartz. Is Minter going to keep Schwartz? Would Schwartz work for a guy who is younger and less experienced than him? It feels like a recipe for disaster. So, I have to ask, is this interview real? Or is this the Browns front office just trying to look smart? Are they trying to pick Minter's brain to see how he stopped Mahomes? Or are they actually considering blowing up the coaching staff? It's a move that screams confusion to me, unless they know something about Schwartz's future that we don't. Question of the day. This brings me to the most important question of the week, and I want to hear from every single one of you. This is the question of the day, so get your fingers ready. Let's say Jesse Minter walks into that interview room and blows everyone away. He has the plan, the charisma, everything. Do you hire him even if it means losing Jim Schwartz? If you think a fresh head coach is worth losing a coordinator, type S for Schwartz if you think keeping our DC is more important than any candidate. I'm reading every single comment. Scroll down right now and let me know where you stand. The offensive saviors, Kingsbury and Kubiak. Now, let's look at the candidates that actually fit the Schefter model, the offensive minds. First up, Cliff Kingsbury. He just parted ways with Washington, and suddenly, he is the most intriguing free agent coach on the market. I know people have mixed feelings about his time in Arizona, but look at the raw data from last year. He took Jaden Daniels, a rookie quarterback, and turned him into a superstar instantly. 25 touchdowns, and NFC Championship appearance. The Commanders were averaging incredible points per game until injuries hit. We need that. We need someone who can look at our quarterback room and manufacture easy throws. We have been watching an offense that feels like pulling teeth for 2 years. Kingsbury brings a modern, air raid adjacent system that spreads the field and makes defenses cover every blade of grass. If you want excitement, Kingsbury is the guy. Then you have Clint Kubiak. This is the safe but smart pick. He's currently the Saints OC, he's from the Shanahan tree, and his dad is Gary Kubiak. He understands the zone run scheme, the play-action bootlegs, all the stuff that should work with our roster. But here is my worry, is he too similar to Kevin Stefanski? We just fired Stefanski. Do we really want to hire his stylistic twin? Kubiak is getting interviews everywhere, Baltimore, Vegas, Arizona. The league loves him. But does Cleveland need a copycat, or do we need a revolution? The dark horse, Davis Webb here is a name you probably haven't heard, but you need to remember, Davis Webb. He is currently the quarterback's coach and pass game coordinator in Denver. He is only 30 years old. I know, that sounds insanely young. But listen to his resume. He was a quarterback in the league, he backed up Mahomes, he backed up Baker, he learned under Kingsbury, and for the last few years, he has been glued to Sean Payton's hip. People inside the NFL are calling him a genius. They say he sees the game like a 10-year vet coach. We are seeing a trend in the NFL of hiring these young, brilliant minds. Look at Mike McDonald, look at Sean McVay when he started. Davis Webb could be that next guy. It's a massive swing. If you miss, you look like an idiot. But if you hit, you have your coach for the next 20 years. Would you be willing to take a risk on a 30-year-old if it meant getting the next offensive genius? The Mike McCarthy floor and the brain drain, and finally, we have to address the elephant in the room, Mike McCarthy. Why are we not interviewing him? The Giants are. The Raiders are. The man has a Super Bowl ring. He wins 12 games a year in his sleep. I know he has clock management issues, I know he's not cool, but he is a professional head coach. Cleveland has been a circus for too long. Maybe we don't need a genius, maybe we just need a CEO. Someone who commands respect. If we strike out on the young guys, McCarthy is a very high-floor option that stabilizes the franchise instantly. Also, a quick warning, the Dallas Cowboys are trying to steal our staff. They just requested to interview Ephraim Banda, our safeties coach, for their defensive coordinator job. This is what happens when you are good. Teams come for your talent. Losing Banda would hurt. Grant Delpit had a career year under him, but again, if we keep Jim Schwartz, I trust him to find a replacement. If we lose Schwartz and his assistants, then we are in big trouble. The clock is ticking. The Senior Bowl is coming up. The Combine is around the corner. The Browns cannot afford to drag this out. They need to decide, are we building around the defense we have, or are we blowing it up for a new vision? Jesse Minter, Cliff Kingsbury, Davis Webb, or someone else? The next name announced by the Browns could save or sink this franchise. I will be back tomorrow with another update because this news is moving fast. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave your question of the day answer below. I'm Joey O'Donoghue, this is the Brown Report, and I will see you on the next one. Go Browns!